these days I find that people want something more real, more honest, as opposed to textbook. And so more often than not, I end up by sharing, it's my life story and my journey and how I got from where I was through the story, through the journey to where I wanted to be, and what is that roadmap. And that makes it just more real and more palatable and more approachable to say. So, for example, everything that I share is something that I've either done or I'm presently doing. So it's not theory. This is practice. This is practical stuff, and it's honest and raw. There's a lot of life coaches out there who some people call motivational speakers. Right? We've all heard them, yeah.
Yeah.
And they get you all amped up, and it's like rah rah, and you go to you either on a webinar or you read their blog and you think, wow, that's amazing, or you go to a live event and you're all hyped up and it's like a roller coaster and you're on your way up and it's like amazing. But how practical is it to maintain that? Because it's just like that moment. So I move away from the motivational speaking side of things and say it's more about your wellness. But it's not only about health. I'm not a health practitioner. I live a healthy lifestyle, and that's a choice. But that's not something I focus on. It's more of an all-encompassing, start here, move from here once you got this stuff that, there's 6 inches between your ears, right? The most dangerous place to live. Get out of here.
How do you find people respond to you? And saying it the way you say it, that you don't have the qualifications on paper, but you've got life experience. How do people respond to that? Do you get some people that accuse you of being opinionated, or are people generally accepting of the service you offer?
I've never been called opinionated before. There'll be a first. I'm sure somebody's out there thinking that. Here's the perspective. How many people in the world?
7 billion,
right?
Something like that.
It's getting close in the next couple of years. 8 billion, so 7.5 billion people. They're not all my clients. They're not all people that I can help, that I can potentially move forward into a new direction in their lives. So there's a place and a calling for a professionally qualified expert in one or other field. There is, but that's not me. So I've been more focusing recently in the last couple of months, I would say. Where are we now? We're now in November, since sort of June, July. I've been very, very much focusing on guys, on dads, on the family man, on the family businessman. Noel, it goes without saying that the last 3 years have been abominable. I mean, shocking. Let's just keep it clean and polite.
No, feel free to say whatever you want.
It's been cuck.
They've been cuck.
It's been cuck. And but how many people are out there actually helping the family guy to reignite? I call it reignite your mojo. Find that inner energy, find that inner passion, find that inner excitement and enthusiasm again. We've all lost in some way or form. Be it economically, our business is shut, we lost our jobs, we took a big pay cut, so we've lost economically. We've lost emotionally and family members through difficult times of illness and strife, or even just stress, let alone the whole COVID narrative, but just stress in itself. And now we're meant to be getting on and living in this new world, because that one, 2019 and pre, it's gone, it's dead, it's finished, it's never coming back. It's reality. But who's out there helping these guys? Who's helping guys?
What is your definition of purpose? Because I hear it, people throw the term around loosely a lot, saying they're searching for their purpose, they're searching for the purpose. But I don't think many people find their purpose, or do they? So what is the definition of a purpose?
That's a damn good question, and it can be a 4-hour seminar just on its own. I teach on it and I talk on it. We all live in this narrative that's painted for us when we're kids. When we're growing up, you're told how to think, you're told what you believe, your parents teach you. They do what they believe is the right thing. They're not doing it to be nasty. They just say, this is the way you think, this is the way we think, this is the way you think. Your teachers do it, your siblings do it. And you end up by becoming somebody that society has told you are. Society tells us how to act. Here's a simple example. I was in hospitality for 27 years. I never enjoyed it. It wasn't my calling, but I did it. Why? Because when I was about, I think maybe 13, 14, I don't know, Noel, if you had one of these careers guidance guys at school. Do you have one of them?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, right. Do you remember what they told you?
I'm doing exactly what they told me I was born to do.
Hey! Yeah, but you're passionate about it, so maybe there was a reason. So these guys told me go into hospitality. Well, interestingly enough, they said two things. Go into broadcasting, interesting, or go into hospitality. And I thought, well, I like to travel. I was a kid. We loved going on holiday, so I thought that's a good idea. So that's why I went into hospitality. As simple as that. One person who I don't know, who hardly knew me just from simple questions, I don't know how it went, said go into hospitality. So that's what I did. And I did very well. But for 27 years, I focused on this. I climbed the ladder. I was earning very good money, but it wasn't my passion. So many, many years ago, my change was where I first started to find my purpose is different to what I thought was back in 2008 when I started to do a lot of personal studies. I actually joined a network marketing company. That's where it began. And I loved the education. It was that leadership, being around these motivated people who spoke about family life balance, who spoke about wealth creation, who for the first time gave me a different perspective outside of my normal world that I thought was mine. And that's when I started to realize, hang on a second, there's more to life than this. The analysis of it is to start breaking down what your core values are. Something that you value is intrinsic in who you are inside, which is why when you do it, you're passionate about it. You don't need motivation or inspiration to do it. It is natural to you. Other people might find it uncomfortable to do, but you don't. You can just do things naturally. That's one of your core values when it's easy to do and you love doing it. That's a value principle. The question comes is, if I could talk to 36-year-old me, what advice would I give 36-year-old me to get him to where he wanted to be quicker, faster, quicker, more profitably, more effectively, helping more people, whatever it is? How could I help them get to where he wanted to be that much more efficiently? And so it's a combination. What I've done is I've created a 5-module program and said, right, if I knew all of this when I was 36, how different my life would be now at the age of 51. So my ideal guy that I want to chat to is somebody sort of between the ages of 35, 40, who's got the family, who's tried the corporate thing, maybe even got their own businesses, succeeded, failed, doesn't matter, but is saying, but there's more. I thought by now I would be further ahead in life than I am. It's what you do today, this week, this month, now, that's going to make 2023, hopefully that you can survive it, if not on the same, not make it worse, but on the ultimate, where you can actually start thriving and moving forward. Because it doesn't matter what goes on outside. If you can sort out your stuff inside, you can start to make an impact in your life, in your personal economy. And so I've got this course, I'm busy putting it together. I'm going to go run it for probably a couple of weeks, or at least a few times in the next month or so, to say, and it's for anybody really, but focusing still on dads because that's my story. And that's where it's easier but ladies as well, to say, what do you do now? Do this now. Don't wait till next year. There's no such thing as New Year's resolutions. They fail. Just forget about it. You start now. It's a November resolution. It's what are you doing now? Then you are going to be ahead when it comes to January. You're already going to start it. Right now, I think that is such a need out there, is to just help people say, don't just stroll through the rest of this year. Make a difference today.